This is Fieldsports Channel News. This weekend saw local newspapers across the country take aim at the shooting community. Headline after headline declared hundreds of the most dangerous firearms were legally owned in whichever area the papers were based, in a coordinated exercise in fearmongering. The articles appeared mainly on news sites run by JPI Media, some even crediting identical articles to different reporters. The articles quoted an anti-gun lobbyist as saying they resembled those used in mass shootings in other parts of the world. The news was timed to come out as the Home Office revealed that despite the efforts of anti-gun and anti-hunting lobbies, shotgun and rifle certificate numbers remain stable across England and Wales at just under 600,000. We contacted JPI Media and Gun Control Network, a lobby group quoted in the articles, but neither agreed to be interviewed. One of the antis appointed by Boris Johnson to DEFRA has been unofficially rewilding Somerset. That's the allegation in the Daily Mail against DEFRA board member Ben Goldsmith. Police are investigating claims he broke rules over the release of deer and wild boar at his farm. The green activist and rewilding enthusiast is brother of DEFRA Minister Lord Zach Goldsmith and friend of Johnson's fiancée Carrie Simmons. He admits lying to local farmers about the recapture of 22 or more deer he bought, and claims he accidentally released at the beginning of the coronavirus lockdown on land he owns near Brutton in Somerset. Goldsmith also admitted to feeding wild boar at his farm in South Somerset. Releasing wild boar carries a maximum of 2 years in jail. He told the newspaper it's a storm in a teacup. A white-tailed eagle found dead in the Cairngorm Mountains in Scotland was poisoned, say police. The RSPB says it was deliberately and illegally poisoned, though it's more likely to eat vermin poisoned with rodenticide. In a press release, the RSPB blames Grousemoor owners for deliberately poisoning the bird. Staying with the RSPB, and it's under pressure this week for trying to stop conservation initiatives it wants to control. In England, a report in the Times newspaper says the charity put pressure on overseas bird groups to refuse to supply eggs or chicks, and so wreck a British government hen harrier breeding project. In Scotland, the RSPB has hit back at a Perthshire-based group's call for independent monitoring of the tags fitted to birds of prey. RSPB Scotland insists the technology is reliable and accuses the Tayside and Central Scotland Moorland Group of trying to influence a Scottish government debate on the issue. Rural people are concerned that the RSPB is using the failure of its tags to attack grouse shooting. And this picture emerged of a buzzard carrying a wing tag in Orkney, leading to demands that bird groups stop or regulate their tagging efforts as they appear to be out of control. Research in Spain indicates that tags like these make birds more vulnerable to predation. Conservationists have found new populations of red squirrels. 2 discoveries in Cumbria are the first sightings in the area for 15 years. At the same time, there are concerns a funding shortfall caused by the coronavirus lockdown could hamper red squirrel conservation in Merseyside, according to the Lancashire Wildlife Trust. It says there could be a 12-month delay for the Formby scheme. We recently spoke to squirrel conservationists in the north of England. They were positive about red squirrel populations due to the army of supporters across the country. You can read about that in the link below and watch our film. There's new pressure on the UK government to raise fines for littering. A petition on change.org wants fines raised to £1,000 to help preserve and protect our beautiful outdoor spaces, national parks and beaches, and bumping up fines for dropping litter and lighting barbecues on grass and moorland. A peregrine in Yorkshire was photographed this week with a mask in its talons. The UK government wants to ban hunters from giving away game to friends unless they've had official training. DEFRA has asked for responses to an 8-week consultation on game meat, which it says is designed to bring rules in England, Wales and Northern Ireland in line with the EU. It says it wants to clarify the rules, but the clarification bans you from giving a brace of pheasants, pigeons, rabbits or some venison to a friend unless you're a trained hunter. The original draconian EU rules banned you from giving away pheasants to anyone more than one local authority area away from where the birds were shot. A civil servant at the time admitted that those rules were unworkable in the UK and would have to be reinterpreted. You can take part in the consultation by following the link in the description. Cull, crows and foxes, or we could lose curlews for good. That's the conclusion of research by University College Dublin and the University of Aberdeen, published in the Journal of Applied Ecology. Researchers found that across Europe, 74% of ground nesting birds are in decline, almost double the rate of other species. The scientists behind the study say that culling predators such as crows and foxes is unpalatable, but inaction on this issue could result in the continued decline of many bird species.
If we want species like curlew specifically for us, or golden plover, we're going to need to control the predators, or else the predators won't necessarily bring about the extinction, but they'll bring the birds close enough to extinction that you can have an event like a flood or a really 2 or 3 breeding seasons that will wipe the population out.
A US TV producer is aiming at Hollywood. Jim Liberatore is planning to raise $40 million through crowdfunding so he can make The Harvest and tempt the USA's 45 million hunters and anglers to the cinema. He says it aims to help dispel myths about the way many middle Americans think and live. A hippo that killed a child in northern Kenya has been killed in a hail of shooting that lasted nearly an hour. The hippo near the town of Maralal was shot by Kenya Wildlife Service rangers using automatic and semi-automatic rifles. Footage that has since emerged has shocked the world of hunting. Anti-hunters like to hold up Kenya as a good example of their policies in action. Since Kenya banned hunting in the 1970s, it's lost its hunting traditions, including how to stalk and shoot animals humanely. Without a value for large animals during that time, it's also lost 75% of its wildlife. And finally, what did you do during lockdown, Daddy? One of our viewers, John Charlton from Newcastle upon Tyne, made this flag built entirely out of cartridges. He has kindly offered it to us to raffle, which we will do at a future British shooting show because it's too big and fragile to post. You are now up to date with Fieldsports Channel News. Stalking the stories, fishing for facts.